You one of the exercises today on this beautiful 5-year-old mare. Her name is Fantasia de Vientos, and that means Fantasy of the Winds. Our ranch is Rancho Los Cuatro Vientos, which is the ranch of the four winds. So all of the horses have that little de Vientos at the end. And her nickname is Cherry, so you'll hear me call her Cherry from time to time. She has a little bit of a connection issue. She's 5 years old, but she's less than a year under saddle, and so she's learning. So please don't be too harsh on her for that. But we're going to do the exercise that I call a spiral. Now, the way I do a spiral is just slightly different than the way most people do a spiral. And what I mean is that if I'm riding right now a 20-meter circle, I want her spine to be on the same curve or arc as the 20-meter circle. So everybody talks about bending like a banana. I don't want my banana to have too much bend in it. My outside rein shows her where the outside of the circle is, where her outside shoulder should be. It opens to allow her to go out a little bit further, and it closes or straightens to make her stay inside of that line. It's like coloring outside of the lines or staying inside. Now, I'm going to start to make a 15-meter circle. Now, the way I do that is I bend her first, or I flex her first with my inside rein. You see how she's looking more at the camera. Now I'm going to turn my shoulders, and both of my legs are going to ask her to walk forward to where I have placed the bit, if you will. So now her spine has the bend or curve or arc or whatever you want to call it of a 15-meter circle. Now 15-meter circle is between the quarter line and the rail, and now we're doing the 15-meter circle. Now to do a 10-meter circle, I'm going to make the flexion again. First I'm going to flex her. Now I'm going to turn my shoulders and ask her to go forward onto a 10-meter circle. Now, a 10-meter circle around X should be between the quarter lines. You should just be touching the quarter lines. And a 10-meter circle bend is the bend that you need for corners, shoulder in, haunches in, and half pass. So a 10-meter bend is really, really important for the horse to learn to balance. Now, I'm on a 10-meter. I'm going to call that complete, my spiral in phase. Now, lengthen my reins about an inch, and now she's stretching into that inch. I'm going to lengthen my reins another inch. Now, I'm going to move this outside wall to the outside, and I'm going to turn my hips into her a little bit more, so my inside weight aid is pressing into her rib cage. There we go. And now she's leg yielding out or spiraling out. Good girl. So she's using the inside hind leg up underneath herself to do that. And when I sit down like this, you can really see it, right? Well, she can certainly feel it, and she moves away from that weight pressure. I don't use my leg pressure very much because when I use my leg, I bring it up. Most people bring their leg up, their heel up, and then that tightens your hamstring, and that actually makes you do this and lift your butt off the saddle. And that's exactly the opposite of what we want. So now we're going to try the same thing at the trot. I'm going to move her with my seat into the trot. So I'm changing the rhythm of the stride. So rhythm is the first step on our training pyramid. Now we're making, well, maybe not. We're making a 20-meter circle bend. And there we go. Keep in mind she's only been under saddle less than a year, and we're going to make little mistakes here and there. And now I'm going to turn her in a little bit more with my flexion, which is very minimal. Really, all I did was turn my shoulders. And now we're going to ride her just a smidge forward, thinking onto the 15-meter circle. I'm keeping my weight down into my inside little toe, and I'm keeping the curve of her body with my weight aid. Okay, now I'm going to ride a 10-meter circle. Candy, watch out. Watch out. My little dog in the way. And now I'm going to make a 10-meter flexion. She got a little deep there for a second, but that's okay because we're going to entice her to go forward. There we go. Reach up. Ah, good girl. Now, again, I'm not going to hold her in this 10 meter for very long because it's not easy. And we're going to now lengthen the reins a little bit. Yeah. And she's already spiraling out because she says, I know the job. And I want her to reach her nose forward a little bit more. Good, there we go. Yeah. Come on, nose forward. So I have to create a connection. There we go. And I have to create a connection and then give it forward. And then I have to create a connection with my hand and then give it forward. And there we go. There we go. There. Good girl. Good girl. Okay. Alright. Good girl. Good girl. Not bad for a little 5-year-old girl. She's just learning the ropes.